Hey, this is Lori, also known as Inspired Act. How are you guys doing? I thought I would check in with you, let you know what's going on with me since I've posted the last video, Courage to Follow a Dream. And so much has happened since then. I put together on paper an outline of kind of like the most important projects that I'd really like to be involved with during my lifespan, really. And then on some of the projects that seemed a little bit smaller and easier to tackle, I broke them down into little outlines, and in the I put little steps. So I have like little baby steps of little things that I can do to get closer to those things. So it's that inspired action, really. So I have little tiny bits and pieces of steps to take. So some of these goals don't seem overwhelming. Now with the eco retreat that I was mentioning in my last video, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's such a big project to undertake, and what am I thinking? So again, I did like, well, what would the first step be? I guess the first step to be would to be an intern at some of the places that are already up and running and doing those kinds of things. So I contacted some eco retreats on the Big Island of Hawaii and asked them if they would be interested in letting me intern and really getting my hands wet and seeing if this is something that I really want to pursue, and knowing how much work goes into it and getting a more getting into the environment, really, you know, and seeing what it takes to make this place tick. And then if I really love it after that, I guess plan 2 or step 2 would be to actually host some retreats and pull some things together. And I've got wonderful ideas of doing things like that. So this summer interning, maybe next summer doing some retreats. And then if I truly really have engulfed myself in studying and understanding and learning, then definitely going and opening my own. And if I don't open my own, I may connect with another retreat that wants to incorporate the program and shares the same vision that I have. So that's my direction, and it may take years. I don't really know. I'm not really going to put a time period on it, because you know what? You and I both know that there's synergy and magic happens, and sometimes it can happen overnight, and sometimes it takes some time. So I'm just being open to where when I see an open door, I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity and see what's going on with that. Being really curious. So I decided that I was going to take an hour a day and really just stay curious and really see and investigate what I could find. And an hour a day is powerful. You know, I heard that saying a long time ago when it was about education, you know, and it sounds kind of weird, but this is actually my philosophy on a lot of things, especially education, that if you spend 1 hour a day in any field that you desire, that you enjoy, any passion, you spend an hour a day, 6 days a week, after 1 year, that hour a day is equivalent to an associate's degree. And after 2 years, it's equivalent to a bachelor's degree. After 3 years, it's considered a master's degree. And after 4 years, 6 days a week, 1 hour a day, it's considered equivalent to a PhD. And after 5 years, 1 hour a day, 6 days a week, it is the equivalent of a national expert. So I have a lot of national expert things that I have been working on in my lifetime. But now this is a new thing that I'm trying to learn. And, you know, for me, that's such an empowering thing. Sometimes I kind of get wrapped up in formal education, and do I have a PhD, and do I have, you know, am I going to go off to college? Am I going to do all these different things? And that just doesn't seem to sit with me. But I truly believe that if I'm consistent and I study in any direction that I truly love, first of all, it won't ever feel like work. Second of all, again, this progress. We can't underestimate the power of informal education and self-education, you know? So that's my thoughts on that. So moving on, oh wait, before I go too far over. So, okay, so I thought about interning, hosting retreats, and then seeing if this is something that I really want to do and opening my own center or joining with another facility that wants to do the same thing. Also, cool is this past week I was asked to speak at middle school and teaching health to the students. I could not believe how much fun I had and how much I really enjoyed it, and how shocking some of the belief systems and their understanding of health really was. It was a huge eye-opener, but not only that, but it really ignited the fire within me to be more proactive with education and health and the children and just whomever I really come in contact to. I just felt so good about it, and actually today I was offered to be more involved with the students on a more consistent and more regular basis. So, woo! That feels really good. I mean, what an honor to be asked to speak to children and to teach them about health and well-being and diet and exercise and all of those good things that come along with it. So very inspiring, and I feel really honored and thankful to be invited into doing those things. So I'm thankful for that. The next thing is I met Kevin and Anne-Marie Gianni. They run the Renegade Health Show, and if you don't know, they're actually on the road this whole year. They're in an RV and they're traveling the world, or not the world, the United States, and definitely spreading the word of good health. So I love connecting with like-minded people, and that was wonderful. And actually this whole past week has been reminding me of is it's been a really social week for me. Tonight I'm actually meeting, again, Happy Oasis. She's at a Raw Spirit Fest potluck, and looking forward to all of that goodness. But what I thought of is I have been reading this book called The Difference. I'm actually not reading it, I'm listening to a book on CD. And it's about the difference between wealthy people and their habits and their lifestyles versus, you know, people that are further in debt or paycheck to paycheck or financially comfortable. And really kind of understanding the character traits that they have, their practices and their habits. And one of the things that wealthy people tend to be very consistent with is they socialize every week. And that makes me think about synergy and how when we have an idea and we synergize with like-minded people, magic happens. And you know, I have definitely noticed that when I try to do things myself, sometimes they take a little bit longer, but when I connect with other people and share my thoughts, things happen like that, and it just feels so good to see that synergy happening in my life, because there have definitely been times where synergy was not happening, if you know what I mean. So I really recommend that you guys go out there and get in your community or meet people that are on the same page as you are, because it really fuels you up and it really kind of propels you to keep moving forward in some of the things that you truly, truly love. And so again, like for me, I love health. When I was a little child, I was always the one that was the fastest on the running track, and I did all of the obstacle course trainings and health classes and nutrition. I used to draw, and this is kind of backward, but I used to draw the four basic food groups. That's what it was when I was a kid. And I would, you know, sit there and put it all together, and I loved doing that kind of stuff. And in high school, it was, again, more passionate. And when I went to college, I only wanted to take the health classes. I only wanted to take dance class or health and nutrition. That's just what I really loved. I didn't want to be bothered with some of the other stuff. And I did do public speaking, but anyway. So I really just love that, and I would never feel that it was something that was work to me. I mean, I do it in my free time. I mean, it's something that cannot be separated from me. It's just something that from the time to the time I die, it is something that I absolutely love and I feel good about being a part of. So knowing that direction and knowing that it's been with me since I've been such a little child is so empowering. And I really hope that you guys go and find the things that maybe you did as a child, that you can see the patterns and really get connected to the things that totally turn you on. Because when you're turned on, I mean, look at me, I'm like, whoa, life is great. When you're turned on, your whole life illuminates before you, you know? It's like you live in a total different existence. And I just feel so good. I feel so good, and I want everybody else to feel that good too. So I know everybody, it's all in your own good time and whenever it is that you want to pursue those things, but man, I just feel awesome. The other things, people have been asking me, how has 80-10-10 been going and how is my diet and exercise? I've not been 100%, still working through a few things of those, but if you can hear that timer, that tells me I've been talking too long, so I've got to end this. I will talk more on 80-10-10, not 100%, but I will be Twittering it, so if you look at my blogs,